I'm going to be scratch building some terrain and 3D printing some terrain without a 3D printer, and I want you guys to let me know which style you like better. I'm going to make a few different types of terrain in this video. The first thing I'm going to do is some ammo crates. So what I did was glue some styrofoam together, take some cleaning cloths, dye them in some paint, use this little stencil here to add some details, and went ahead and glued it onto the styrofoam blocks that I made. I did go in and add some little pieces of cardboard for like armor plates, just to add a little bit more detail to this piece of terrain, painted it up and dry brushed some metal on it for scratches. And just like that, I had a cool piece of terrain here with some ammo crates and a tarp. Now I'm going to be using a free program called Blender to draft up some 3D parts. So I threw a Space Marine in here for scale, added a cube, then using some very basic drafting tools like extrusions and scaling and things like that, I made some crates here. And once you make one crate, it's super easy to duplicate it, and then you could just scale it and arrange it the way you want, and before you know it, boom, you got perfect 3D printed prints, just like magic here. So I went ahead and sprayed these in some camo green. I gave them a quick dry brush to add a few details here with some lighter green, a heavy wash in Army Painter dark tone, let that dry up overnight, and then gave it a real quick dry brush with some metal. And you can see here, these prints are really nice. Now that they're painted, you can see there's no layer lines and everything was super clean and well done. The next thing I did was grab these old twine spools, hit them with some truck bed coating, gave them a quick dry brush in metallic. I had this old Cat 5 wire lying around, so I stripped it out and wrapped it around these spools to create a industrial type tech cable. Now this was looking a little clean, so I washed it down to make it a little dirtier. Then I went ahead and glued them all together to create one terrain piece. Next, I hopped back into Blender. I decided I want to make something very similar. So I created a cylinder and I just, again, very simply started to modify it a little bit until I had what looked like oil barrels, or like 45-gallon oil drums. Once I had one made, it was really easy to duplicate them, and then I could just arrange them how I wanted. And I made a couple of different arrangements here. And then boom, just like magic, without even turning on my printer, I had them in my hands. I went ahead and primed them black, gave them a couple quick dry brushes of gray, and then using some Army Painter speed paints through my airbrush, I gave them this quick dirty paint job. And you can see here how smooth and crisp these prints turned out. They were excellent. I'm not going to leave you in anticipation any longer. How I've been getting all these awesome prints done was through an online printing service called JLC 3DP. So let's just hop on JLC 3DP's website and take a quick look. Not only do they offer 3D printing, but they also offer CNC machining. Here you can find exactly how this process works and all the different types of services that they provide. And I got to say, just like they claim, it was very easy. You can even get your free online quote. Now, all I did was grab my STL files, drag and drop them directly onto the website, then select the materials that I wanted to print in, and they gave me an instant quote. I uploaded about 8 different files here, and this only cost me $32, which is excellent. Then, extremely fast, these things showed up, and you can see here, the prints were amazing. I was really impressed with the post-processing and how nicely they were cleaned and cured. They were excellent and ready to paint right out of the box. The next piece of scatter terrain I wanted to make was some fortifications. So I started with some scrap cardboard that I had lying around. I then added some plaster tape to them and continued to fold and add other pieces until I had what looked like a nice little structure going here. Then I went ahead and cleaned up all the edges with some cereal box that I bent into like 90-degree corners. Once it was done, I hit it with a couple of coats of truck bed lining, and then I gave it a very fast and quick dry brush of blue and metallics. It was really simple, but it turned out really cool, especially for something that was made out of cardboard. I decided I want to also draft something along those lines, so that's what I did. I hopped back in Blender and decided to make a fortification. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do a little differently, which is a great thing about 3D printing, is that I wanted to make it modular. So I went ahead and kind of sectioned this up into different sections. And you can see here, these prints also came out excellent. And once you start to paint these things, especially dry brushing, you can see that the layer lines were next to invisible, which is definitely a sign of a high quality, high resolution print. So those guys did a great job printing these things up. Again, a very quick and simple slap chop paint job was all that was needed to make this piece of terrain come to life. Now I like that it's modular because when you put the two end sections together, it creates this cool little looking pillbox style barricade that I really like. So here you can see my scratch built terrain and my 3D printed terrain. I want to know, what do you guys think? Which group do you like better? Also, stick around on my channel. I got a ton of cool videos and I'll catch you on the next one.